guys, welcome back. It is the end of the month, so it's time for a unboxing and haul. I got some books from subscriptions. I went to the library book sale this month because we have it every other month. Next one's in January. And then we had a few books that I was given and or finally showed up, and a box of book outlet books. If it wasn't for the library book sale and the books that were gifted to me, it would mostly be just this pile of subscription boxes. So we'll start at the top and work our way down. I will do the subscriptions first, then the library book sale, then the ones that I bought or was given, and the book outlet books. So book of the month is first. One of these is not mine, just like last time. Me and Nikki give books to each other a lot, and there was one in here that she really wanted, so I put it in my box and I went ahead and bought it. Because, I don't know, we are like that, I guess. All right. All right, books. Bookmark says, you know you want to keep going. You know, because bookmarks are for losers, right? All right, the first book on my stack is Check and Mate. This was one of the add-ons. It's Ali Hazelwood. This is her first YA one. I'm not a huge YA romance reader anymore, but they're cute, and I'm hoping this will also be cute. So, book number one. Book number two is The Wishing Game. This was actually a June book, but I didn't know what it was about until I was at Barnes & Noble one day with Nikki looking around at all the new releases. This one sounded super interesting, but I recognized the cover. So I figured I would buy it for $10 instead of $30. I know that these ones aren't as well made as the other ones are, but whatever. And I don't remember what it's about now. Years ago, a reclusive, mega best-selling author quits writing under mysterious circumstances. Suddenly, he resurfaces with a brand new book and a one-of-a-kind competition, offering a prize that will change the winner's life. It says, make a wish. There was something else about it. The way they described it at Barnes sounded really good, because that one doesn't sound great, but the Barnes version did. So I don't know what the difference was. What did I buy for myself? Okay, this was another add-on. This one is The List Love Spells. This one is one of the romances. I always do the add-ons for the romances because you can actually get paperback versions of most of them for cheaper than you can these hardcovers. But so for like $17.99, it's not worth it to me, but for the $10 it is. It looked cute. Now I'm down to two. I'm fairly certain this was the one I picked out. It says, one of America's greatest, most creative novelists comes again and again. A poignant and endlessly surprising story about love lost, found, and redeemed. It's about a lonely old man clinging to his delusions and rehearsing his fantasies for a legitimate autonomy. A 1,000-year-old man who continues to search for the love he lost long ago. This one was probably mine. I don't remember picking it out. Okay. And then this is the one for Nikki, because she likes the mystery thrillers. It says, one girl murdered, another one missing. A medical examiner desperately searching for the truth in the latest Black Harbor mystery by acclaimed author Hannah Morrissey. I don't know. We're gonna move on though, because it's pretty sad when I can't even remember the book I picked up. It's been that long. I mean, actually it's almost time for me to pick the December books again. Okay, so we have the adult version of my Fairy Loot. I forgot what it was, and I just saw the spoiler card because I didn't mean to look, because I was just doing this. And I remembered what it is, and I heard it's ugly. And to be 100% fair, this was not a book I was super excited about. And I even thought about not getting it at all. But here we are. All right, ready, set, go. I mean, it's not terrible. I've definitely seen worse. God, it is a thick one though. The sides are pretty. You can see them. And then we have, there's no under the dust jacket. So we have that. We have end pages. We have a fake signature. Fake signature. And end pages on the back are a different character. So, I mean, it's okay. It's a Cassandra Clare book. I'm not a huge Cassandra Clare fan, so I wasn't going to get this one. This is not one that I was going to go to the store and buy. I forgot that it was coming. I would probably skipped it because I don't really need another 1,000 pages from Cassandra Clare to read. Okay, it's 618, but still, whatever, you get the idea. So yeah, I forgot this one was coming. Yay! And then we have the adult version of the Owl Crate, which honestly, Owl Crate has been hitting it out of the park much more than Fairy Loot these days. Fairy Loot's just not hitting it anymore. Ooh. Okay, here's the card, and the book is right there. And I was excited about this book coming. I knew I had a copy of it coming. I just wasn't sure what box it was coming in. So, Adrienne Young is one of my favorite authors. She wrote the Fabled series. And I liked the Fabled series at the beginning. At the end, by the time I got to Saint, I wasn't as thrilled with it anymore. But I have liked almost all of her books. So the Girl the Sea Gave Back was really good. The follow-up to that one was okay. And then Fabled was really good, and so was the second one to that duology. The full duology was good. But then they have a third one that's in the same world. That one was okay. And then she did Saint, which was actually really good. But she also did another adult one last year about this little island in Washington, and that one ended up being really good. So I think overall she's an auto buy for me. She's not an auto love for me, but she's an auto like for me. And so I would happily take any of her books. And then the back looks like that. And then this one should be signed, like actually signed. Yeah, that's actually signed. Get the letter and the actual signature. I'm looking forward to this. It's really pretty. I bought it from Book of the Month last month, but Nikki was bugging me because she's like, you already have one coming, so I gave it to her, which isn't a big deal. Like I said, if I wanted another one, I could always buy another one. But honestly, this is really pretty. So I'm excited about that one. And then this showed up. This is my September box. I did open it just to see what box it was because I am missing my October box and my November box. So September. All right, so the first thing in the box is a blanket. All right. I mean, it's fine. It's really small. It's really thin. But, I mean, it's fine. The quality of this blanket is not super good, but I mean, it's in a book box. I'm not even sure who it's for. And then we have, okay, I'm gonna go with on a limb here and say this is Fourth Wing because it says scribe, writer, healer, and infantry in their like little bottles. Oy, this is really making me question why I have this box. And then we have a pin that says Excelsior on it. And then we have something from Red Rising. Ooh. All right, I started Red Rising and didn't like it, but I keep hearing good things about it, so maybe I should try it one more time. Because, yeah. Okay, there we go. They're bookmarks, they're foiled, and they're pretty. And then this I'm actually excited about because I could always use one of these. It's a book light. And you just put it on you turn the light on. You put batteries in it, and you turn the light on and you stick it on your book, and then so you can read it. So, put down the wrong thing. That I could actually use. But yeah, these boxes I'm just not super thrilled about. So we have the Ace of Moons and the Two of Moons. Oops. There you go. All right. And I don't remember. If I have it to be haunted. If I have to be haunted. Oh yeah. We have the card or the bookmark and the letter with the art on it. And then the fairy scoop, which I don't even read. And here's the book. The sides. Inside cover is nothing special. Inside cover is very pretty. That is very pretty. That's the whole problem with this box is it gives me FOMO. And then back cover is the same as the front. And then this should also be digitally signed, not really signed. Yeah, 100% digital. You couldn't even fake that if you tried, because that looks super thick. Does the fairy scoop show us what the original looked like? Let's see. No. So, yeah. I don't know. All right. And then we have my November Illumicrate, which is the anti-hero. Let's see. Right in the middle, we have a mug. So my friends want to know why I have so many mugs. This is definitely one of the reasons I have so many mugs. I have cabinets of mugs. And I don't even know what this is for. The rise and fall of the Sanctuary Moon. I don't know what that's for. You guys will have to tell me. And then I have an ornament that will not go on the tree because the tree is just not an ornament tree. It is a as-is tree. That's interesting. Not really what I was expecting when I saw an ornament. Not sure what the... this is Nettle and Bone. Okay, that would probably make more sense, but I haven't read that book yet. And then here we have a bag. I love these bags, but we had I had one that I absolutely adored. Cat peed all over it. And then I had another one that I liked, but it wasn't great because the handle broke. This one's not bad. I don't remember who gave us the last one, but it was a little ball, and I've had it for ages, and I really, really liked it. It was very well used. I kept it in my bag. It was perfect. My cat's a jerk because he ruined it. But it folds up nice and small, and I can put it back in my bag. So I've got ones in the car, but I always forget to bring them into the store. So it's nice to have something that lives in my bag. All right, and then we have another set of bookends. Can you see them? They have, oh, let's do one like that. Can you see it? It is like a little skull. It says one flesh, one end. I don't know what that's for, but all right. And then we have a book. Oh, see, this is why I keep these things. Look how pretty this is. And it's, the desk jacket is like one of the plastic ones. So underneath, that's what it looks like. And then you have the sides that are really pretty. The inside front, inside back is the same. Let's see if it's signed. I have a dear reader and a fake signature, so no, it's not signed. But I am looking forward to this book, so I am excited about it. That is the wrong way. The only problem with like getting the ones that are just the book is that the book is almost as much as the whole box. So that one's cool. I like that one. And it's a Starling House. All right, that box is empty too. All right, we're done with the boxes. So if you are still interested in the actual book haul, stick around. We're going to do the library book haul next. All right. Fairy Loot, it's just not killing it for me right now. The stuff was really meh, and I was just not impressed with the book either. So I don't know. All right, let's move on. I'm gonna get in my head. All right, so I have a bunch of mass markets. I have like 14 of them. So I'm gonna try to rapid fire through them as much as possible. I might be missing one because I think there's one still sitting over there. These are 50 cents each. I got a Nora Roberts one called Hot Rock. And then I got, let's see, I can try to very quickly put these into authors because I have a lot of the same authors. So if you've been around for a while, you know that I used to love reading a certain genre of book, and I stopped because I started going to church and they told me that I was no longer allowed to read those books. Gotta love a cult. Okay, so the first author that I got a bunch of was Jenna Showalter. She was my favorite author. Her and Katie McAllister were like my number ones. And I found a bunch of this one series that I don't know if that's how it's aged, but they're cheap. So worst comes to worst, they didn't age well. I don't keep them, but I would like to finish the series. So we have The Darkest Touch. We have The Darkest Whisper. We have Seduce the Darkness. We have The Darkest Lie. We have The Darkest Craving. The Darkest Secret. We have The Darkest Surrender and The Darkest Seduction. So all the darkest books, there's one in here that doesn't fit, but all the darkest books are part of a Lord of the Underworld series, and they are about like Pandora's box being opened and all of the sins of the world being released. The sins are men, and the men were the ones that were supposed to be guarding the sins, and so the sins went into the men, and this is their stories. They're sexy stories. They have some smut, but they're not real smutty. They're like, Jenna was really good about one good sex scene, two good sex scenes, and then everything else is fade to black. So it's not like an overwhelming sexy book. It is a much more middle ground sexy book. All right, and the other one I got was one that I've heard really good things about, but I have not read from, and these are all in the same series, but they're not, there's holes in the series right now. So I have the very first one already, but I haven't read it yet. Everyone tells me good things about it. Everyone. I have a couple of friends that have told me good things about this in the past, and I will eventually get to them. So it's Karen Marie Mooning. I have Iced, Doc Fiva, Shadow Fever with a piece of carpet hanging off it because my cats are assholes, and Baby Fever. So those are all my mass markets. And then the rest of this is, these are all $1 or $2 depending on the book. The first one we have is Hooked. I do have some Emily McAllister books around here somewhere, but I don't think I have this one. The next one I have is The Extraordinaries. And then I have My Contemporary Mary. This was the only one of the books that's, at least last time I checked, was currently out that in hardcover that I didn't have. I have Found, unfortunately, Lost and Loved are both in paperback, and this is hardcover. But it's a library copy, but it's a really good library copy. I've never seen one that's so new, but yeah, we've loved. I buy these because I like the authors. I haven't read them yet. This one looked cute. It's called The Green Glass House. It's middle grade. I'm torn when it comes to YA and middle grade. There's a line for me that if it's too young on certain topics, I won't like it. But if it's not, but if it's on different topics, I will. So, I don't know. This one is a maybe. I don't know if I'm gonna like this one or not. This one's a Morgan Matson book. I used to love Morgan Matson. It's Take Me Home Tonight, but I haven't read Morgan Matson in a hot minute, so I don't know if I'm still liking it or not. I have a part of a series. I have Rot and Ruin and Dust and Decay, which are books 1 and 2 in this series. I also have Gilded by Marissa Myers, which is one of my favorite authors, so that's good. This one was a little bit of a, I don't know if I'm gonna like this one or not. It's R.A. Salvatore, and it is this, it's a compendium of 3 different books. It's the Legends of Dritz collection, book 1, and it has Homeland, Exile, and Sojourn in it. There was a bunch of their books at the library book sale, but I was curious because I wanted to try one out. I know they're like D&D books, but I've heard good things about the author, so I got one of them. There was like 10 of them there. I got one. And then I also got Wicked Beauty by Katie Roberts, and I also got a Brandon Sanderson book. It's a Brandon Sanderson book. This is the first in his one of his YA series, is The Rhythmist or something like that. So that's the library book sale. Now, let's see. This one I bought, but these ones I did not. Okay. All right. So again, I have a couple of bookish friends, and when we unhaul to each other first before we unhaul to anybody else. So my unhaul box is about ready now, and when I do my unhaul box, I will give them the first dibs, and then whatever I don't like, whatever they don't want, I will take to the used bookstore. So this was theirs. I got one from Nikki, and then the rest of them came from Carrie. So this one's from Nikki. She hated the book and thought it was the ugliest thing she's ever seen. I did enjoy Melissa Albert's first book. I wasn't a super big fan of the second book in that series, but I did like the first one. So I'm gonna give it a shot, and worst comes to worst, we don't like it. It is signed. It is a bookish box, so it has pretty end papers, and it does have the stenciling on the cover, but she hates the gold. I don't care. I will read an ugly book. She will not. So I will try it out and see if I like it. All right, and these ones all came from Carrie. Some of these are really pretty, and I have no idea what they're about. But I was just like, cool, give me anything that you don't want. You know, any of the pretty books that you don't want. And if I like them, great. If I don't like them, I will donate them. I know of some of these, and some of these were I was really excited about, and some of them they explained to me, and I thought that sounded cool. And so it wasn't like I was going in totally blind, like she was just gonna send me a random box. It was more like I was interested in these books, and then they told me what these books were about, and I was like, oh, that sounds kind of cool. But I don't remember what's what, This was like months ago that we had this conversation. So this one is The Second Sight of Zachary Cloudlessly. I don't know. And it's got pretty edges. It is wrapped in plastic. It has pretty end papers. And I think these are all signed. Yep, this one is a Goldsboro book. So it is signed. His handwriting is atrocious. And this was copy 965 of 1500. But it's really pretty, and I can't remember what it was about, but when we were talking about it, it sounded interesting. Raised among the cogs and springs of his father's workshop. Okay, so this one's one of those steampunk ones. That's why I got this one. I like steampunk. All right, so we have another one. This one is Jade Fire Gold. I have heard good things about this one. This one is a Fairy Loot copy. She left the bookmark in it. This was back when Fairy Loot actually had their book signed. Yep, it's actually signed. This one is an empire on the brink of war. Anon is no one with no past and no family. Atlanta is a lost heir, his future stolen away as a child. When they meet, Atlan sees in Alan a path to reclaiming the throne. Alan sees a way to finally unlock her past and understand her lethal magical abilities. I don't remember, but it's very pretty. She sent me very, very pretty books. Okay, this one I picked because of the author. So it's Together We Burn. It's by Isabella Ibanez. I don't know where this one came from, but this one has like the inserts in it. And it's pretty on the inside. And it has a reversible dust jacket. I really don't know where it's from though. It looks, this is Wednesday Books. Is that the publisher? I don't know, but it's pretty. This might have been one of those books that she just like pre-ordered, and I know she didn't even try to read most of them, but I picked this one because of the author, because I'd heard really good things about this author. Okay, wow, that's a pretty copy. This one is the Book of Night. All I saw was this. I didn't know that the front looked like that. And this one also has the stuff inside. It's got an insert and a book plate. This is a bookish box. So maybe that's a bookish box too. Inside, end pages. It's just plain black sprayed. I've heard terrible things about this book, but Holly Black is really hit and miss for me, kind of like Cassandra Clare. And so as you saw that earlier, I wasn't like super interested in the Cassandra Clare. This one is more of a, I wouldn't buy this book myself, but if someone's gonna gift the book to me, then I will happily try it out. And that is definitely a pretty copy. This one is called Truly, Darkly, Deeply. This is the outside, and then the book is inside. And it is signed. This one I don't remember. 12-year-old Sophie and her mother, Amelia Rose, went to London from Massachusetts, where they meet the charismatic Maddie Malgrain, who quickly becomes an intrinsic part of their lives. But as the relationship between the two adults fractures, a serial killer begins targeting young women with a striking resemblance to Amelia Rose. Well, that's fun. I figured that would be one that Nikki would steal, because sounds interesting. But we couldn't remember what books she picked and which books she didn't pick, so I don't know, maybe this was one of the books that she picked. But she also has Poster Girl, which I remember was one of the books that both of us were like, oh, hey, I could read that. So, I mean, I literally don't know. But some of these books are really pretty, and that sounds cool. So, I mean, if I don't like it, I'll give it to Nikki, and if I do like it, I'll let her read it. Ha ha! Okay, and then the next one is The Princess Poison Vow. Again, very pretty copy, very heavy copy. Let's see, is there anything on the inside? Ooh. Ew, it's pretty. I haven't really looked at these yet. I got them recently, probably like, oh god, it's probably been 2 weeks, but I've been working a lot. And then we have the inside cover. We have, it's another bookish box. We have the signature page, which is signed. And then the back is the same as the front. This book weighs a ton, like an actual ton. It is heavy. And then the last book on the pile is called The Coldest Touch. Sorry, I had to make room for my foot because my foot's falling asleep. It says, death drew them together, life could tear them apart. Did I ever mention that I have a thing for vampires? Okay, the next books I got, I think I showed this one to you guys already. I'm pretty sure I did. So I'm gonna put that one aside. If you're wondering, it's my Iron Flame. But I did get my UK version, which is the one that I read. This one is one of those ones that it's messed up. The binding is broken. I got a hold of Amazon and they said, cool, you can send it back. And I'm like, yeah, but I won't have the sprayed edges. And they're like, well, we can give you a discount on it. They told me they wanted to give me 25% off of it. I told them 50, and they go, well, we can still exchange it for you. And I was like, no, because it won't have the sprayed edges. And so after arguing with them for a couple of minutes, they go, okay, you can have 50. So they gave me 50% back on the broken binding. This one I got from the UK, so it is much better made, nice thick pages, but it's really stiff. And so even as I'm like making my way through this book, it's not opening. But I did finish this. And then this showed up. This is the Belgium? No, that's not right. It's like near Russia. Where did I get this from? I don't know. I can't remember. But it's super pretty. It's got writing on all the pages. The chapter headers are super pretty. Hold on, I'm trying to find one of the pictures. There's an actual picture of a dragon in here. These are the chapter headers. They're so pretty. Bulgaria. Yeah, that's it. Or Bulgarian. That's what this is from. We saw it online. We thought it was pretty. I ordered it just to see if it would show up. It did. Yay. All right, we have one thing left, and that is my Book of the Month box. I did open it. Book of the Month has been really bad about packaging books lately. And so I have to open them when they get here instead of opening them with you, because I need to make sure that they are in one piece when they get here. And it was, so here's the box. I left them in the box because it was easier to hold it that way. All right, I'm just gonna start from the top and work my way down until I hit box. All right, the first book on here is a cute little romance. It's called Maggie Moves On. I've heard really good things about Lucy Score, wanted to try out her books. This one was available and it sounded cute. So I got it. This one I got because Nikki said it was super cute. And like I said, I'm not a super big fan of YA romances, even though I have a handful in here. I have been getting less and less lately, which is what most of my unhaul stuff is. If you watched any of my unhaul pile read through, I'm picking out books that I wasn't sure how I was gonna like, and then I'm trying them out and then seeing if they're gonna get unhauled or if I'm gonna keep them or not, which I have an update for my next one, so I need to do that when I'm done with this. But a lot of those are YA romances because they have so many like little catty issues, things like miscommunication, and it's just, it bothers me when people can't talk to each other. And so the books in here that I've been going through that have stupid, petty little miscommunication things, I get rid of because I'm tired of that trope. This one, however, I was told was super, super cute. I've only read one other Talia Hibbert book. I read one of her adult books. I don't know why Delilah Green just popped into my head because that's the book I'm reading right now. I'm reading the third installment of that one. Get a Life, Chloe Brown. It's right on the front. Woohoo! I read Get a Life, Chloe Brown, and I liked it. It wasn't the best book I've read in a while, but I heard the other books in the series are even better, so they are on my list of to reads. But Chloe Brown, I keep saying Delilah Green. Chloe Brown was really cute, and she says this one was adorable. So I will take her recommendations any day of the week because she knows me, and 9 times out of 10 she can read a synopsis of a book and tell me if I'm gonna like it or not, which is where most of these books came from, is that she helped me go through them all and she would just put them into the get rid of piles. But I'm incapable of getting rid of books without at least trying them. Hence the project that I'm doing. All right, so next one we have is Mr. and Mrs. Witch. It reminded me of that Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie, Mr. and Mrs. Smith type of book. And when you read the back of it, it seems like it's a play on that movie. So I thought this would be fun. I also got a couple of pretty copies. I have Anne of Green Gable. I did read Anne of Green Gable. It was one of the few books that I read that are classics, but I didn't read the rest of the series. This one was just so pretty that I wanted to get it and just to have it. And then my daughter saw it and she got really excited, even though she has the full set of Anne of Green Gable books already. And then she opened it up and started reading it and she's like, I'm not gonna read this. And I was like, I didn't think you were going to. But I really, really liked the first one. I thought it was really good. So when I saw this available for a couple bucks, I was like, good for it. I think I got these at the beginning of the $5.99. So that book is normally like 30 bucks and I got it for $5.99. Another book in that same realm. I have another one at the bottom, hold on. I got the Shakespeare in the Autumn one, which I thought was, again, super pretty. And there's a bunch of stuff in here that I've never read. There's poems and plays and, or sonnets and the plays and stuff that I've never read. And I thought it was really pretty. Will I read them? Was it worth $5 for me? Yeah. And then I also got Dracula. This one I'll probably actually read, but it's real cool. It's fuzzy. And my son was like eyeballing it. He was like, oh my God, this is the coolest copy. When he saw it in the stores and I was like, yeah, I totally bought that. And he goes, you did? And he got really excited. So I have a feeling that Caleb's gonna try to steal this from me. But I think it's normally $40 and I bought it for $5.99. Okay, the rest of them. I have Supernova, which is the 3rd book in the Renegade series. I have the first 2 books. I have all 3 audiobooks because Rebecca Soler reads them. Hubby loved them and he was shocked that I didn't have the 3rd one. He was like, why did you buy it again? I was like, because I never had it to begin with. So I have the 3rd copy in hardcover, which is what I've been waiting for, and they finally got it on the website. Which, to be 100% real, was probably the reason that I bought the box when I did, was because that came into stock, and I've been wanting to finish out the trilogy at home, so I bought it. I'm sorry about the heating, but it's too cold not to have the heating on, so we're just gonna have to deal with it periodically coming on. The next one I saw, I've been eyeballing in the stores for a while now, but I didn't want to spend full price on it because I'm cheap. If you'll notice anything about me, I may have way too many books, but 95% of them I bought super cheap. And the 5% that I didn't buy super cheap are the ones I get from book boxes. So, I have A Broken Blade, which is an assassin book. It says, my body was made of scars. Some were done to me, but most I did to myself. I don't remember what it was about this book that I wanted to buy it. I don't know if it was YouTube or TikTok or what it was, but there was something about this book that I was like, oh my gosh, I want to try that book. So I bought it. This one I bought because I want to try the second one. So this one's The Gods of Neverland, and it is Defenders of Lore. They are like reimaginings of classics. This one is obviously Peter Pan. The next one's Alice in Wonderland. I don't know if they have to be read in order, but I just bought the first one because I could not get myself to buy more than one because the ratings for this book were really, really hit and miss. There were some that raved about it. They were like, oh my gosh, it's like, what is that show? the Once Upon a Time or something like that we used to watch back in the day, that I watched the whole first section of, and then they did like, they restarted it with the son being the main character instead of the mom being the main character, and I said, nope, I'm done. But it is supposed to be something similar to this, but it got really big hate, and so I'm just like, fingers crossed that's good. Again, it's $5 or less, so I mean, The next one I got was Lightlark, which I've heard really good things about. It sounded really good, but then after I bought it, Nikki shows me a bunch of TikToks about the author and what a terrible person she might be. I don't know all the specifics, but I already bought it, so I mean, I may not have bought it if I knew, but I did hear good things about it, so I don't know. Is she a bad person? I don't know. All right, and then I also bought a Tessa Bailey. Tessa Bailey, I do like. I've read the two that she did about the sisters from LA who marry the fisherman. Those ones are really cute. All right, so this one's called Secretly Yours. I don't know what it's about, but it always comes in the box set with those other two. This one is the first one of a series. So I read It Happened One Summer and Hook, Line, and Sinker. I don't know what this one is about. There was the rest of the series that was on Book Outlet for a hot minute, but I was waiting and I waited too long and they're all gone. And the last one I got is an A.G. Howard book because I love A.G. Howard. This is Shades of Rust and Ruin. I'm really hoping that I still like A.G. Howard. I read the Alice in Wonderland series. I have the Princess and the Pea book, but I haven't read it yet. And this one, I think is Snow White, but they are all weird versions of fairy tales. And I like fairy tales. So I buy the weird versions of the fairy tales because I like the fairy tales. It's the one thing that me and my friends don't really usually agree on because most of them don't, and I do. So that is the end of my book haul. I am now sitting in a huge pile of books, which would be fine if I had a place to put them, but I don't. So we need to clear this shelf off faster. But yeah, it is the end of the month. I will do my wrap up in a couple more days because I'm in the middle of 2 books and I'm hoping to finish at least one more before the end of the month. And this month will get a wrap up because I actually read enough to qualify for a wrap up. In September, I only read a couple of books, and so I'll add those ones into the beginning of my October wrap up. But October was a good month for me, so I actually have plenty to tell you about because I think I am coming out of my slump. Again, hopefully I don't read a book that puts me back into it again. But Iron Flame did try, so yay. All right, that's it for now, and I will talk to you guys again soon. Bye.